Hmm? Kan? Yang sebelah sini tuh nanti ahead aja Pak. Ahead duduk yang sebelah sini. Satu. Ya, kita juga masukkan di dalam. Oke.
Instagram.
Do you have it?
Instagram is shit.
It's okay.
Facebook or
It's okay.
Test.
Okay.
Test.
My mom will not call that number anyway. That's it? Okay. That's good.
I have to change my profile photo for 3 years. So I look there.
Jack Manaba. Jackie. That's good.
Yeah. They named me after the French philosopher, Jean-Jacques Rousseau.
I see.
And but I'm not a philosopher. I tried to be. So what is
Can I have yours?
Right. Orange.
Oh, boleh. Boleh, boleh.
My brother was well like it lost its mind. And it's okay.
Oke.
Check it. Yes. This is the first time I read That's complicated. Yeah, that's it. Whenever I go, whenever I have to do that, figure out I edit strips for areas. Yeah. That's why they send me to that one ranch on the ranches. Now I know difference. Because it's hard to find like the word some type of sort of portion for yourself. Just like packages, all the whole thing. And instead of staff, it's like a library. And then it's fine. Yeah. Yeah, it's cool. Yeah. I think they're all wearing leaders. That's the weird shape.
Nah, Lebaran pulang ke Semarang. Lah kamunya enggak? Minus. Hah? Red. Oh. Bapak pulang tanggal berapa? Pas lagi Lebaran. 1, 2, 3 tes.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the talk show in AEO. I am your one and only lovely host, MJ De La Cruz. For today's special episode, we have a very admirable guest. He's not only a lecturer, a practitioner, but also an innovator from Indonesia. With all of his awards and experiences, I'm pretty sure you must have heard him once. Please welcome Sir Bernhard Farah Sukandar.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
How are you feeling today?
I'm great. What about you?
I'm feeling good as well.
That's good. That's
How are
good.
you feeling? Is this your first experience in a talk show?
No, but it's a new experience for me with this kind of settings.
I'm also pretty happy to be with you be in your presence today.
Happy to meet you too.
So, may I ask, what is your current occupation today?
My current occupation is a student at Tsinghua University in China. And also I'm leading an organization called Heart Logic. And also I'm building an app called Pranala.
Oh, that's so much of you're a pretty hard worker. I can see that.
I
And I've
believe so.
also heard that you also lecture some students. Or
Yeah, I'm teaching in several universities as well, like Universitas Pajajaran, Politeknik Negeri Padang, and other university as well. But in this semester, I'm still figuring out which university that I will teach to.
That's pretty a lot of students. Now, being a student yourself and teaching other students, how do you apply some of the things you've learned as a student in teaching as well?
When I'm being a student, especially in China, I got so many experiences and also the new one because the culture is pretty different. And also I got many insights about technology, AI, and the others. While I'm being a lecturer, I'm also not only teaching, but I'm learning as well from the student. So I know about the updates, the current trends, and the others.
Truly, teaching is a wonderful experience.
Of course, of course.
So, how did you go on to the teaching? How did you pursue that?
Basically, my father is a lecturer as well. He is teaching in civil engineering, and he really wants me to be a lecturer. I was not really like to be a lecturer back then, but later on, I feel like teaching is really good, and I really would like and love to become a professor, maybe in the next 5 or 6 years.
Do you have any memorable experience as you teach some other students?
Oh yeah, especially when I teach in the rural area in Indonesia. There is one villages in Indonesia called Cimacan, Desa Cimacan. It was really tough for me because I usually teach about technology, commerce to like young people like you, but there I was teaching an old people how to do e-commerce. So it was a really wonderful experience and a challenging one as well.
You mentioned that you had some challenging experience. One of that is when you're teaching older people. Were there any other challenges that you faced while teaching or while being also a student?
Well, there is a new challenge as well for me when I teach for program prakerja, if you heard about it. program Prakerja. It's a government program, so I teach about information technology and project management. It's quite tough because we have to teach them via online, fully via Zoom, and I have to make sure that they can graduate and apply for a job. So it's kind of tough as well.
How did you overcome any of those challenges that you
I just do it.
just do it?
Yeah, just
I
do
love
it.
that line.
Yeah, yeah.
So, as you mentioned earlier that you are also a leader in some organizations.
Yes.
So, being a leader, how do you manage not only other people but also yourself as you handle so many organizations and studies, and you also help students study
Yeah.
as well? How do you manage everything?
So basically, I think if you want to become a leader, you have to be able to manage yourself first. If you are already good enough with yourself and you know how to control yourself, it's going to be easy to lead the others, because like you know how you feel it, you know how to do it, you know how to manage it. Then if you teach the other, you just have to do the same.
Thanks. What is, as a leader and as a student, what do you have any other experiences that maybe helped you as a student? As a leader, how does it help you be a student as well?
Could you elaborate your question?
Do you have any skills as a leader that also helps you be a student or helps you in your studies?
So basically, when I'm leading something, I got the experience of leading it. When I become a student, then I will have so many questions about how the case or how the challenges, how the experience can be improved. So basically, like right now, I'm doing my master in China. So I'm really exploring about how Chinese people lead the Chinese people. It's really different about how you lead the Chinese and how you lead the Indonesian, how you lead the Germans. It's really different. So at the class, I always ask a critical question to the lecturer, and they would really happy to receive it. And we will discuss after that.
It's very nice. So, to those aspiring leaders and to those who look up to you, what can you also say to them to help them pursue that career path that's similar to yours?
I see. So it might be tough for you to start, even to manage yourself. It's tough in the beginning, but at the end of the day, if you already be able to manage yourself, then you have to remember that if you give your knowledge, if you share your knowledge to others, it will improve your knowledge as well. So let's say if you would like to become leaders, you just have to start something. Don't be afraid to fail, because everybody is failing at some point at the end of the day, and you just have to improve, and improve.
Improve
I think
always.
that's what I thought.
Improving is very innovative
Yeah,
of you. Now, thank you so much for your
You're
time and your
welcome.
insights today. Now, that is all for today. Once again, we thank you, Sir Bernhard, for your time today. And we must always remember that even us, as young students, we should keep on just doing it, and we can achieve many heights just like Sir Bernhard. Thank you so much. Once again, I am MG De La Cruz with Sir Bernhard, and this is the talk show in AEO. Have a nice day.
Hello, good afternoon. It's Arsita Depravesti, and this is AO Talk. Today, you're inspiring. For today, we will having an amazing conversation with such an inspirational. And in this episode, we're gonna talking pretty much about education and someone's career that we will do a lot. Well, it's a beautiful day to having Bernhard Farah Sukandar. Hi, Bern.
Thank you for having
How are
me.
you today?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm great too.
That's good.
Have you realized that today the weather is very good? I think this is a good sign that we'll have a conversation today.
Of course, of course.
Well, Ben is known as a lecturer, practitioner, and innovator from Indonesia with over 1 year's experience in multinational organization. Ben, you have such an amazing experience. We are wondering what's inspired you the most in life?
What's inspiring me the most in my life? I think it's my failures.
Your failure?
Yeah, I did lots of failures, and also I really, if you say this a person, I really idolize my prophet Nabi Muhammad. His leadership is really great,
Yeah, I
and
agree.
nothing's compared to that. I think that's my inspirations.
Wow, that's such a good inspiration. But talking about failures, that's interesting. How did you see failures in your life?
I see failures is just another obstacle that I have to overcome, and I love it because like when I overcome it, then I can prove to myself that well, I can do it.
Yes, we learn a lot from failures, right? So you're focusing in communication, business, and technology. What are actually the reason that you choose those things?
To be honest with, I don't really choose that subjects because I was when I was in high school, I really confused what kind of subjects that I have to choose. So my parents choose it for me,
Oh,
which is technology. So I graduate in Bachelor of Information Technology and Project Management. And then after I graduate, I work for CNBC Indonesia as one of their first international journalists. And then the story goes on. And the last one is I lead some organizations and also doing my study right now in China.
That's amazing. It's kind of interesting that your parents choose it for you, but you did a really great job. Do you think it's a good thing that they're choosing for you, or do you kind of feel the pressure of that?
Well, my parents gave me lots of pressure since I was a kid, so I'm used to pressure, so I'm okay with that, and it's really good because like back then in high school, I don't really know what I want and what I need. I really want to become a movie director back then, but I think it's not a good career, and my parents choose it for me, so it's a win-win solution.
Yeah, so your parents' pressure is sometimes build you to be the people that you will be in the future. Can you share the step to succeed in your life because you have such a lot of amazing.
Well, I think it's not in my position to say that because I don't think that I'm successful yet. But I think I did some accomplishment in my life. And one of the traits that I keep is I'm keeping my honesty. I always persistence. And also, I just love to do what I cannot do.
You love to do what you cannot do?
Yeah, like
What does that mean?
yeah, like right now, I don't really know about public policy, but I learn about public policy because I don't know it, and I'm afraid that if I don't know it, maybe I will need it in my next career, so I need to learn it as soon as possible.
Oh, so Brian is the kind of people who always prepare for the
course,
future, right?
yeah.
For the challenge in the future. Well, during your career, you like kind of switch a major in business and in communication. What's challenged you the most during that?
I don't feel any challenge to be honest with. But if you say about the challenge, I think I think I already have a mindset of adapting to any situations, and also find a correlations between one subjects to another subject. So I think it's not really difficult for me, and I don't really think that's as a challenge. And if you think about like my journalism career as a reporter is stepping to another dimension of work, I don't really think so because back then I was an economic and information technology journalist mainly. So yeah, it's not
So
really
you already
difficult.
know a lot when you're being a journalist.
The topics, yes, but the technicalities I need to learn a lot. and I need to be screamed a lot by my supervisors, of course.
Actually, as a journalist, like
Yeah.
we have to know a little of thing and a lot of thing. Like and when you're facing your career and you're like stepping from journalist and then business, do you think it is a good thing to like um, being in a lot of way, like you're just upgrading your knowledge?
Yeah, of course, because like I think without that, I will not be able to achieve what I can achieve right now. Yeah.
That's a good point, right? Like when you're searching about things and then you don't know, you have a courage to always know.
Yeah, yeah.
So you're being the sole male Asian youth representative in Asian Summit back then in 2022.
Yes, correct.
Can you tell us about that?
Well, I'm quite lucky to be honest with, because like I was chosen to be one of the Indonesian delegates, and then the people kind of choose me as the head delegates of Indonesia for the ASEAN Summit in 2022. It's the first ASEAN Youth Dialogue, and then I draft a policy about youth policy in ASEAN, and then later on, 5 months later, I was invited again, and all of ASEAN youth members voted me as their representative. So yeah, that's how it goes in a short story. But if you want the long story, I think I can give you the details later on.
Well, you're being like the voice of the youth back then in ASEAN Summit. How does it feel to facing like the people of the country like Joko Widodo, King of Brunei?
Yeah. Well, it's not my first time to meet Pak Jokowi, because I was his journalist before, so it's not my first time. But speaking in the context of youth and policy in the scope of ASEAN, it's my first time. So it's really challenging, and I have to learn a lot from each other, especially from the people like you and the others who are already comfortable with the settings.
So, Bern, I'm gonna give you this or that question. You are a lecturer and a businessman. Which one did you choose, lecturer or businessman?
Lecturer.
Lecturer.
Yeah.
And you choose which one you choose, pursuing your career in Indonesia or abroad?
Indonesia.
Why?
Always Indonesia. I want to contribute to this country. Yeah.
That's a really good representative of other journalists. Ben, you've been a very inspiring. Can you give the audience an advice to someone who will become inspiration such like you?
Okay, talk less, do more, and pray more.
That's very amazing, Ben. So first, remember that you always talk less and do more, as Ben said. Well, that's all the audio for today. Thank you so much, Ben,
You're
for
welcome.
coming here.
Nice to meet you.
Our
Thank
study promising. Have a great day.
Good day to the beautiful people of Jakarta. You are watching the AEO News. I'm Valencia Angjaya, and today I have a very special guest with me. He is a lecturer, practitioner, and an innovator from Indonesia who is recognized locally and internationally. Ladies and gentlemen, please warmly welcome the one and only Mr. Bernhard Faras Sukandar.
Nice to meet you. Thank you for the introduction.
Hello, Mr. Bernhard. What can I call you? Should I call
You can call me Baron. It's okay.
Mr. Bern? Can I call
Baron.
you? Baron.
Yeah. Yeah, that's good. That's good.
Mr. Bern, all right. We'll call him Mr. Bern. So, you're currently a master's student in Beijing,
Yes.
Tsinghua University.
Tsinghua.
By any chance, do you speak Mandarin?
Of course. Of course. I
你讲中文？我也会讲中文的。
Oh, that's good. That's good.
All right, Mr. Bern. So, did you travel from China all the way to Jakarta just for this talk show?
Of course not.
Of course not. All right,
Of
everybody.
course not. My friends inspired me to work for this talk show, so I'm really love to meet the.
Yes, thank you very much
Yeah.
for joining us today on AEO News. Mr. Bernhard, before we start today's talk show, do you mind if we play a little game?
Sure,
Short
sure.
and simple, just to warm things up a little bit, everyone, so we can get to know Mr. Bernhard better. It's called the 5-second rule. So I'll ask you some very basic questions, but you'll have to answer it in under 5 seconds.
Cool.
Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay, Mr. Bernhard, what's your favorite food?
Pizza.
What's your favorite color?
Black.
What's your hair color?
Hair.
Hair color, yes.
Black.
Black. What's your favorite Taylor Swift song?
Ooh.
Ooh, 1, 2, 3, 4. Style.
Yes.
That's my favorite too, Mr.
cool.
Bernhard. All right. What's your favorite Tom Cruise movie?
Mission Impossible.
Mission Impossible. 1, 2, 3, 4.
All of them.
All of them. All right. Last one. Where's your shoe from?
Air Jordan.
Air Jordan.
Yeah.
All right, Mr. Bernhard knows his shoes, everybody. Okay. Now, Mr. Bernhard, let's go into the actual interview.
Oh, I thought that was the actual one.
No, it's
No?
just a warm-up, Mr.
Okay.
Bernhard. Okay. So, from your resume, I saw that you studied in the US, China, Germany.
Yeah.
Which one is your favorite country?
Indonesian.
Oh, Indonesia.
Yeah.
Why?
Well, Indonesian people is my people.
Mm-hmm.
So I really relate to them. I feel their passion. I feel their challenges. I feel their problems. I would like to solve it.
Okay, I'm also Indonesian, so thank you, Mr. Bernhard.
You're welcome.
I appreciate it. And you're studying public administration in
Correct.
Tsinghua University.
Yeah.
What do you think the student life is like in Beijing? Because from the internet, it seems like the student life in Beijing is very, very tense. The schedule is very hectic. What do you think about it?
Well, I've been holding and I've been practicing my skills of holding my toilet time because like
What?
I have to learn a lot. Yeah.
Toilet time?
Yeah, because like if you are in class and you want to go to the toilet, then you will skip the class, right?
Oh, like bathroom time?
Yeah. I have to practice it so I don't skip any knowledge.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Bathroom time.
Yeah.
I did not expect that.
Yeah.
No, what about how do you organize your agenda? How do you study? Like keeping up with all the other Chinese students because they're very ambitious and competitive, aren't they?
They are. So basically, I just mingle with them, talk to them, and learn about how they do the studying. And also, they work really, really hard because like they study hard, they practice hard, they do sports as well. So I just mingle with them, learn with them, speak with them, and also sleep with them. The boys.
Roommates.
Yeah,
everybody,
roommates. Sleep with them. So basically, yeah, that's how I do it. And also I use my management skills and also my management tools like the project management system, calendaring, everything, and also always confirming about the right schedule, the right timing, and do strategy for that.
How would you compare Chinese students with Indonesian students?
Oh, it's really different though.
Yes, can you tell me a little more about that?
Well, Chinese student more individualistic, and they want to see your quality first, so they don't really want to team up with you without knowing you first, especially when you are an international student, because they know they have a different culture. But Indonesian students more friendly, chill, and also
Outgoing?
outgoing. Yeah, I think that's the word.
All right, and did you speak Chinese, like Mandarin, prior going to China, or did you learn when you actually
Not
come
at
to
all.
Beijing?
Not at all. I have to eat boiled eggs and rice for 2 weeks because I cannot speak Chinese, and after that I learned Chinese because I have to pass it for
Okay.
HSK3. So yeah,
HSK 3, interesting. Did you pass like HSK 4
of
or
course,
5?
of course. Now 3 to 4, 5 not yet. Maybe next year.
Amazing, amazing. Mr. Byrne, what would you say to the youth generation in Indonesia who are looking forward to build startups of their own?
Well, you don't have to. You don't have to build it. To
But
be
what if
honest with
they want to?
if they want to build it, then you have to be sure that you really want to build it. Because like building a startup, building a business is really tough. And if your goal, if you just want to be rich, then maybe startup is not the best one to do it. There's another way to do it. But if you want to accomplish something, you want to contribute to the society, you want to create your legacy, that's a good one. And you should be really working really hard and smart to be able to make it sustainable.
All right, last question, Mr. Byrne. Do you have any mantra or quotes that you live by?
Always. My quote is talk less,
Talk less,
do great,
do great,
and pray more.
pray more. All right, everybody, that wraps up today's talk show. Just like what Mr. Byrne said, talk less.
Do great and pray more.
Thank you, everybody, for joining us today on AEO News. I'm Valencia Angjaya,
And I'm Bernhard.
and we'll see you next time.
Good job.
and gentlemen, as the sun has risen up, it's here indeed to cheer you up in the hashtag captivating insight. Well, I can't hear your voice, but so I will repeat it once more. As the sun has risen up, it's here indeed to cheer you up in the hashtag. Okay, thank you for all the audience in this studio. Well, as today weather is really good, I'd like to brag about something that is quite urgent to discuss, as it is related to youth and education. There is one question that often arises among the students. Which one is cooler? Focusing on your studies or combining it with the organizational experience? And today, we'll explore both perspectives and explore the benefits and challenges with our today's guest star, who is a practitioner and innovator from Indonesia with over than 11 years of experiences in diverse professionals across various multinational organizations. Without any further ado, now please welcome and give a big applause to Mr. Bernhard Farah Sukandar.
Hi.
Hi, sir. Good
Thank you for
afternoon. Have a
having
seat,
me.
please. Yes. So, how are you today?
I'm great. How are you?
How's the traffic?
Always like that?
Okay, have you got your lunch?
I did. I did some. Have you?
Okay, yes, I did
That's
as
good.
well. It's really good and it's really delicious. Okay, and as we are fully have our lunch today, we will do the talk show really good. Okay?
Okay.
But before we proceed to the main stations, for all hashtaggers at home and at studios, would like to ask about questions to our guest star today. To send your message by replying to our Twitters in Twitter, and also don't forget to use the hashtag #AskBernhard in hashtag. Two selected questioner will receive 50% voucher from Ruang Guru Indonesia. All right, back to Mr. Bernhard. Well, Mr. Bernhard, as our today's topic is about youth and education, and by seeing your track record, you have a remarkable achievement both in academic and non-academic fields. So, how do you manage your time effectively to excel in your studies while being actively involved in various non-academic activities?
Well, to manage my time, I think I say no to lots of people. So I will say no if it's not related to my goal. That's first. And the second one, I use project management tools like Google Calendars, Microsoft Teams, and the others. So it can keep me on track. And also, I always set my goals for the next week, next month, next year. So like I have to be able to manage which one is my priority and not priority for me.
Okay, you set everything. You set everything in organizationally, right?
Yes.
Yes. And then being a top student while you are in university, the undergraduate until now you are in a master graduate students. It means that it requires dedication, right? So, how do you strike a balance between your academic commitments and your involvement in the non-academic fields?
Well, it belongs to my priority as well. It depends, actually. Like academic is my first priority, and the other is not my first priority. So I have to be able to make sure everything is okay for my academics. And after that, in my spare time, I always contribute to people, like teaching, and also I'm building my business. So I think it's not really my focus, and also delegates a lot to people that I trust.
Okay, so everything is about education. So education is the top, and then the rest is playing with your friends.
At least that's my priority.
Okay, and then as we know that last few weeks ago we have been faced with a hot topic on social media, saying that all the scholarship awardee like ISMA or LPDP students, they don't fulfill their obligations. They don't fulfill their responsibility to go back to Indonesia or do nothing on their projects. So as someone who got a full scholarship from Tsinghua University in Beijing, how do you respond to this issue?
well, you should go back. That's your requirements. The country pay you to learn and to contribute to your country. So that's why I avoid LPDP from the first time, because like I don't really want the country to requires me to go back. I would go back voluntarily, not because like the country requires me to go back.
So it's just like I will do my scholarship just for me instead of like having a big burden to go back to Indonesia like that.
Yeah.
Okay, and then after seeing your track record as well, have you been you have been involved in many educational related activity, right? And as an Asian youth representative in 2022, in your opinion, what does the Gen Z and the Asian youth the Asian youth need in this era?
Well, to be honest with, I'm not in the position to represent Gen Z because I'm not Gen Z.
Yes.
But for youth in general, I think youth must be seen as not like the small percentage of youth. Youth in ASEAN is a lot of youth, and not all of youth is able to access the education. So I think as the youth that's responsible to another youth, I think you should share more knowledge that you get from everywhere, so people in Indonesia and around the world can access to that knowledge for free.
Okay, and then we have just received and selected the top 2 questions. The first one is from Shabina. Can you share some obstacles you've encountered in your academic and organizational journey, and how do you overcome it?
So basically, when I see an obstacle, it's about the mindset. I don't really see that's an obstacle. I think that's a way to improve myself. That's how I see it. I think you have to change your mindset.
Okay, and as our stations is limited by the time, so I will just cut one last questions. But before we wrap up, I'll ask one last more questions to you. So, can you share any strategy and the life motto that you use to all our audiences here and at home?
I always use this: talk less, do great, and pray more.
Okay, talk less, do great, and
Pray more.
pray more. Okay, and with that, we conclude another enriching episode of Hashtag. A heartfelt thank you for Mr. Bernhard for sharing the experiences, and also our wonderful audiences here at studio and at home for enlightening this journey. Until next time, keep those hashtags alive and keep seeking captivating insight and continue to be the architect of a more informed and inspired the world. This is Rindu Nartavia signing off. Good afternoon, and remember, your voice matters in every hashtag.
Connecting minds, stories defined. I'm your host, Anne Margaret Lumanglas, and we are thrilled to have you with us in Beyond the Banter. Today's episode is like no other, for we will be joined by a very passionate, dedicated, and inspirational speaker, Mr. Bernhard Faras Sukandari. Hi, welcome to Beyond the Banter. It's such a pleasure to have you with us today.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, so I just first like to ask, how are you feeling today? How are you feeling this afternoon?
I'm feeling good. The weather is good. Everything is good.
Well, then that's good to know that you're feeling good. And I guess my goal here is to make your afternoon more enjoyable and, of course, memorable. So, are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay, then let's start. As an individual with diverse professional experiences across multinational organizations, what is your tip to the youth out there who also want to gain experiences like yours, but they don't really know how to?
Well, it's really simple for me because, like, if you're afraid, you just have to register for the things that you want. Like, if you're afraid, if you want to become a news anchor like you, let's say, and if you're afraid, you just have to register first and try it first and experience first. If you are failing, then you can learn from it and do it better next time.
I agree. If you fail, you can always stand back up again.
Yeah.
That's the important thing. So to all those youth out there who also want to become like Mr. Byrne here, all you need to do is keep on trying, and if you fail, you can always stand back up again. And we have recently heard that you are chosen as the sole male Asian youth representative to deliver the first youth policy recommendation. So how does that feel? It must be an honor. How does it feel?
Well, it's lots of pressure because, like, you have to represent ASEAN youth, right?
Yes.
But it's really, it was a really great experience because you can meet lots of ASEAN youth and you can discuss about their challenges in their own countries. And to be honest with, we have so many similarities with them. And also that experience bring me to the next step of my careers, and one of them is pursuing my master degree.
Yes. Yeah, we've recently heard that you are pursuing a study right now. You're getting your degree. So what's next for you? What's next for you in your life? What is the next step?
Okay, well, after graduating from my master degree, I will continue my PhD.
Oh.
Hopefully in the US, and then I hope I can work in United Nations.
Wow.
And after that, going back to Indonesia, and also finding a way to become a professor.
Ooh, a professor in the United Nations. Well, we wish you the best of luck, really.
Thank you.
But you know, Mr. Bring, Beyond the Banter would not be the show that it is today without an exciting part. So are you ready for the exciting part? Well, I like to call this game the word association game.
Okay.
It's very simple. I say one word, and then the first thing that comes to your mind, you just have to say it.
Okay.
For example, door, knob, just like that. It's
Okay.
very simple, okay? First is sand. 1, 2, 3.
Sun,
Sand.
hot,
Sand, hot. Okay. Ear. 1, 2,
Here.
3. Here? Okay. Eyes. 1, 2, 3. Beautiful. Rain. 1, 2, 3.
cold.
Bath. 1, 2, 3.
I love it.
Once again, Mr. Byrne, everyone. Let's give him a round of applause.
Thank you.
So, what else can I say? You have truly inspired each and every one of us from your tips on how to always keep on trying if we want to achieve what we really want to achieve in life. And if we fail, we could always try again. That's a very important aspect in our life that we have to instill within ourselves. And you have really brought joy to this room, especially after that fun game. And well, thank you for being here with us today. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me.
And I would, as we wrap up this episode, I would like us to all be reminded that connecting minds and defining stories does not end here. That is because we'll see you again on the next episode of Beyond the Banter. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
hashtag chill, hashtag feisty, hashtag documented. Hey, 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 hello there, Minglers. Welcome to the electrifying realm of conversation. This is a Mingle Minds, where ideas collide and perspectives unite. I am your host, Joe Makalalad, and today we will be embarking on an exploration
you have responsibilities as we're talking right now?
Well, at first it's really hard to enjoy it because my parents forced me to do it. Because back then I don't really know what's the purpose of it. But later on, when I grew up in high school, in the universities, I know the function of it. And I started to enjoy it because my parents equipped me very well, so I can be able to do lots of things, like the one that you see in my CV.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So, sir, I have also learned, sorry, I learned a lot of things from you.
Thank you.
From Scoop of News. So, I have learned that you're selected as the ASEAN Youth Representative over some summit. So, what's the process of you being selected for that specific event?
Well, it's really lucky for me to be the representative, but the first one is I was chosen as one of the Indonesian delegates in July 2022. There's 5 delegates from Indonesia and each country, including Philippines.
Oh, really?
And also after that, I re-elected again in October or November 2022, and then all the ASEAN youth elected me by the discussion, and then I was selected as the representative for ASEAN.
So, what did you do in that specific event? So, what did you teach? Did you teach? Did you learn?
In that event, actually, we doing diplomacy. We are developing a public policy analysis, and then we create a draft that will be delivered to the ASEAN leaders.
That's interesting. So, sir, know that now that you have many extracurricular events, so how do you manage to become, let's say, be happy?
Well, happiness for me is really simple because I have a family now. So my happiness is when my family is happy and I'm happy. It's pretty simple for me.
So now, sir, again, I learned once again, because I learned a lot from you, you have built a sustainable organization. Can you please explain to us what's that organization? What does it do and everything?
Yeah, I was the founder of Heart Logic. It's a sustainable entrepreneurship platform. So I was founding it in 2012. It's been running for almost 13 years now. So basically Heart Logic is a platform that you as youth and entrepreneurs you can explore about the programs, about how you improve your life from it, and also through Heart Logic we can help you with the best experts that you need.
Wow. I'm really amazed by how you were able to learn and help at the same time. So, how is it? What's the difference and similarities of being a leader and a learner at the same time?
So basically, if you want to be a good leader, I think you have to always learn. You have to set yourself as a permanent beta mindset person, because leadership is dynamic. People change a lot. The situation changed a lot and you cannot really control the externals. So I think if you set yourself as a leader who always learn, you can adapt in any situation.
So, in your own words, how do you define a great leader?
A great leader is a person who put himself below his people.
Yeah. Okay, so do you have any advice to those who are aspiring to be just like you, a leader, an innovator in a specific paths in life?
Well, I'm coming from a really humble family. I don't have a real rich family. So I think if you are a person who thinks that you are not good enough, who think that you are not in a really privileged situation, I think I think you can be more than me as well.
You can be more than Bert as well. You heard it from him, right? So, for the last question, what's next for Bernhard to come back? What's next?
What's next?
What's next? What are the things that we must look forward from you?
Well, my goal is always realizing the vision of Heart Logic, which is supporting entrepreneurs around the world, and I'm doing and pursuing it right now.
All right, so burn is a living statement that we should not stop from pursuing our passion, and passion can be managed as long as we enjoy and we love to help people. That's all for today. Burn, thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for having me.
And so, for upcoming shows, stay tuned. This is the Monday Show. Good day.
Good day, viewers. Presenting you the latest news and the news that matters most, this is AEO News. For today's special segment of AEO News, welcome to the AEO Show, where journalists meet the masses. I am your host, Katrina Bernesto, and joining us here at the studio is a truly remarkable guest, a lecturer and innovator from Indonesia. Please give a warm welcome to Bernhard Sukandan.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for being here. So, first things first, it is a fine afternoon in Jakarta. How are you today?
I'm great. How are you?
Thank you for asking. I'm doing great as well. It's my maybe 4th day in Jakarta, so it's been really nice.
Hope you love it.
Thank you. So, you're an innovator and a lecturer. Have students ask you about their own startups and companies, and what do you usually tell them?
To the students?
Yes.
So basically, I always tell them, don't create a startup or don't start a new one. Because like creating a startup or starting a startup is really, really hard, and it's not for everybody. So I always insist that if you heard from any motivator that you have to create your own business to be rich, I don't agree with that. But I think if you really want to change something in this world, you want to improve something in this world, that's one of the good way to do it.
You have your own startup, yes. What was the experience of having your own startup that led you to tell students to warn them about not having one?
Well, I consider one of my startup is Pranala. It's an application. Now we have 300,000 users in Indonesia. as especially. So basically, when I'm doing it, I'm starting with just solving one problems, and then another problems come. Then I start to solve more problems. So I think if you focus the startup problems to only one problem, then you can deeply understand what is the problem, and then you will start to explore how to monetize the problem. Then you can call it a business, because business have to make a profit, right?
Yes. Are there any like-minded students who you think have the potential to actually to start a startup? And what is it like lecturing like-minded students?
Can you elaborate more? What do you mean by like-minded
Like,
student?
you do lectures for students who may be interested in MSMEs
I see.
or startups. So what's it like having experienced it yourself and teaching these students about your experiences?
Well, when most of the lecturers in Indonesia, especially, they are not coming from a practitioner. They just have like a degree, certain degrees, like PhD and so on. But when you have an experience, then you can tell what is your failures, and to make sure that they are not repeating your failures, but can learn from your failures. So I think it's really important for those lecturers who want to become a business lecturers to have an experience in the real world, because like in the class and real world, it's really, really different.
So startups usually, well, to be frank, startups usually end up in failure.
Yeah.
Are there any students who come up to you after a failure?
Oh, many of them. Of course, there are so many students that coming up to me that, sir, this is not going to the right way. This is not the one that I want. So I think it's okay, but if it's not in the right direction anymore, and you are not doing it anymore, so I think you just have to leave it. But if you really believe that you can realize it to become a sustainable business, sustainable startup, then you have to push more. That's my suggestion for them.
Okay, I love that.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, so you're currently pursuing a master's degree,
Correct.
with so much on your plate. What's it like balancing your startups and also pursuing your master's degree?
Well, I prepare everything before I pursue my master's degree. There is only one thing that I haven't prepared, which is Mandarin, because I'm studying in China and I never have a plan to study in China. I always have a plan to study in the US or UK, but here I am, I'm studying in China. So that's one of the things that I have to learn fast and push myself to adapt to the Chinese environment, especially the language, and also how to manage everything at once. Basically, from my experience, my failures, my ups and downs, I can choose people better than the others, I think. So I can delegate better to the people that I trust, to the people that I can see fit to run the company for me. Yeah.
I see that you're very worldly and that you can communicate a lot. And you're actually a natural born leader. Would you say that?
I don't think so. I think I was born normal like the others, and I have many. I just figure out that I have a disabilities as well. Yeah, I have a tongue tie and also lip tie, and that's why I'm not really good at speaking. But I didn't know it since I think I just knew it 2 years ago. Yeah, so I think that's a new thing for me, and I think I don't really born as a leader. I built.
You were
Yeah.
you with a lot of your experiences. You were
Yeah.
able to become.
Yeah, because my parents is not a businessman as well. Yeah.
Okay. What pushed you to, like you said that making startups is a good way to help change the world. What
Well,
pushed you to this initiative?
Well, I always push myself. So if I think I cannot do it, I just want to push myself to the limit first. And when I see the limit, then I know, am I able to do that or not? At least when I'm single, I'm still doing that. But now I have a family, so like it's kind of a bit different, because like you have to consider your family aspect as well. But that doesn't change me to pursue what I cannot do. So I always pursue myself to be able to learn new things, and also to accomplish something that I haven't accomplished before, but now it's more, there is more considerations before I'm taking the actions.
Okay, so final question. What can you say to those who are nervous or too scared to have a startup, but they're actually very driven to change the world with their startup?
Well, you're good to be nervous, because if you are not nervous, then there is something wrong. And nervous is one of the human biology things. So I think it's not something wrong, but you have to turn that nervous to become a passion and motivation. If you cannot turn that into passion and motivation, then you will be drawn by the nervousness. If you can turn it into motivation, then you can achieve something.
Okay. Well, unfortunately, that is all the time we have for today's special segment. I hope everyone takes away from the experiences shared by our guests. You can turn your nervous and anxiety into something that motivates you and drives you to push harder as hard as you push yourself and actually change the world. So with that, I would like to thank you so much
Thank you so
for
much
being
for
our guest
having me.
today. Once again, let's give a big round of applause.
Thank you.